Welcome to the T2 Hubcast. Join Martin, Dave, Spencer and guests as they discuss all things personal and professional development. The T2 Hubcast, brought to you by the People Performance People.
So welcome to the T2 Hubcast with me, Martin Johnson.
Me, Dave Pendleton.
And me, Spencer Locker.
Chaps, we are in the podcast room three-way. First time in a long time. Stop laughing already.
We're
back and we're going to discuss something that I think will be fun, jovial, interesting with a slight smattering of reality, which is the topic of the different types of video caller that we're getting on Zooms and Microsoft Teams over the last year.
Yeah.
So I've asked the guys to prepare a list of the different types of caller they observe or video participant they observe. I've got my own list. It's going to be like corporate clangers, guys. It's going to be fast and frenetic. I'm going to go around. I'd like you to give me a type of video caller, explain what you mean by it and why they piss you off, maybe. Ooh, piss you off. Ooh,
it's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Dave just swore.
It might be an observation rather than an emotion.
Spence, Dave just swore. He said he wasn't going to swear.
Oh,
Did he?
Oh, Lord alive. Been sucked into the vortex.
the swearing vortex of T2. Right. So we have calculated, Dave and I, that we've done 500, Spence, between us, 500 virtual sessions in the last year.
Between all three of us?
Yes. Average of 150 each.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more in some cases. However, that's a lot of virtual sessions.
Yeah.
And we've seen it all from the different types of characters you get on, the tricky ones, the not so tricky ones, etc. So I'm going to start us off, and I'm sure the listeners will resonate with this and they'll have experienced somebody. My first type of video caller, guys, is the move around the houser.
What do you mean by that?
I know what you mean by
the
that.
move around the houser is the person who comes onto a call and for some strange reason, even 2 minutes in, they're picking their laptop up and changing rooms.
Yeah.
Just 1 second. And then you can hear all the muffling, all the banging, all the clattering. They're going up the stairs, in the back bedroom, down the stairs, shutting doors, squeaking doors. And it's like an episode of Through the Bastard Keel. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to see your house. I just want to settle down to the call. Surely you knew you needed a charger before the call.
Yeah.
Surely you knew that the dog was making a noise in that room before the call. So the move around the houser, excuse my French, by the way, the move around the houser drives me crazy. Get ready for your call and stay in one place.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I do.
Have you had one? Have you had a move around?
I've had one like that, but I've also had one where the computer was on the coffee table, but when we stopped the call, so we had a break. Yeah, we had a comfort break, so they can go do what they've got to do. This old person obviously wanted to go make a brew, but the thing was, the corridor to the kitchen, and the kitchen was directly behind the settee. So the computer stayed where it was. They got up and they moved and they did their thing, but you could see them doing it.
Yeah, I've also had one. I'm going to come to Dave. You're next, by the way. I've also had one where every time you come back from a break, they're in a different room. It's like the move around the house in between the breaks just to throw you off guard. You know, it's like they keep cropping up in different rooms. So listen to me. The move around the house is out there. If it's you, stop doing it. Get settled. Get sorted before the call. Dave,
absolutely.
Give me a type of video participant that you've observed.
I'm gonna do it because we've got to use words to define situations, and sometimes the appropriate word is needed, and it's the shit signaler.
Oh, that's two swear words Dave's done, Spence.
I know, but the poor signaler just doesn't have the same gravitas, does it? I mean,
you're right. You're right.
So by the shit signaler, you're meaning the person who's just got a crap signal and just disrupts every call by not being able to understand them.
They try to talk, and it sounds like a Cher song from the 80s. And then their picture freezes, and they've always got one eye open and one eye closed, or they're sort of pulling some sort of weird face. And then you say, "Oh, listen, you state the obvious. Of course you do. You're obviously struggling with your signal. Whereabouts are you?" And they say, "West Hull."
Yeah, on super fast broadband. Come on.
They're not like in the middle of the Scottish Highlands or something.
Yeah. Or where are you then? I'm in Hackney in London. You know, it's like, come on, you should have a decent signal. Yeah, absolutely. The shit signaler. And it spoils the call because everybody spends the call going, are you there? Oh, I've lost him.
Share?
Yeah. Everyone spends the call going. Everyone spends the call going. Are you there? He's still there. Oh, I've lost him. No, I'm here. I mean, it's like so disjointed. Yeah, crap signalers sort it out.
When the camera goes off, but the sound stays on. Then the opposite.
Shit signalers. Pay your bill. Sort it out. Right, Spencer. Over to you.
Along the same. This is one of the things that the shit signaler actually creates, and that's the psychic, isn't it? Is anybody there? Is anybody there? The psychic.
Oh, I thought you said the sidekick.
No, the psychic.
Or the psychic.
Or the medium. Or the seance, if you like. Call it. Is anybody there? Can you hear me? Is anybody?
I can see you, but you can't
see me. Yeah, and it's like, oh, crikey.
Yeah,
and they're frozen.
It's like something from a Carry On film, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
So that's called the psychic.
Yeah,
the ones who's constantly saying, "Can anyone hear?"
Yeah, is anybody there?
Is anybody out there?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Love it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move it on. This one possibly winds me up the most. It's the hard stopper. I wrote down a word even I'm not going to say on this call, Dave, for the hard stopper.
But the bomb, can't it?
COVID?
It's the
C word.
Yeah.
It's the delegate who joins, and almost from the outset they're going, "Listen, guys, I've got a hard stop at 3:00. I've got a hard stop on the hour." Or the one who even worse, I might have to drop off for a call. And you think, well, don't bother, right? It's almost just someone's out from the inn. It's like, I don't want to be on this call, so I'm letting you know now I've got a hard stop and we ain't going over.
Yeah.
So I call that the hard stopper. And we in certain training environments, we always get one, don't we? Who's trying to get a bailout. You know, got a call in quarter of an hour, I might have to drop off. Piss off now then, will you? Right. So the hard stopper is the one I'm throwing into the mix. Dave, what have you got?
And this is by observation, and sometimes it's obvious, and sometimes they don't think it's obvious, but it is to everyone else. It's the emailer or the Facebooker or the social media. So essentially, they've got the camera on, but they've got split screens, and they're clearly doing something else. But they forgot they've got the camera on and everybody can see what else they're doing.
And you can hear the tapping on the emailer. So sometimes they don't put themselves on mute.
Yeah.
And all you can hear is, let's see if this picks up on the podcast. You can and you're sort of thinking, I am going to break your fingers in a minute. Just stop emailing, or at least have the decency to go on mute. You know, but you can definitely tell, can't you, when you've got someone, and it just it drives you crazy. Spence, what have you got?
The muter. So this is the person who you'll turn around to the delegate and you sort of say, right, okay, so what are your thoughts on this? And they'll come out with something absolutely golden, but you can't hear it because they're on mute.
You're on mute,
and you can see the lips moving, and everybody else can. And who's going to say it first? Who's going to say you're on mute?
Yeah. So and in these people, everybody's done it from time to time, including us. However, you do have the repeat offenders with this.
Yeah, you do.
The ones who, no matter how many times they come on a call, they cannot help. They can't get used to turning themselves off mute. The repeat offenders are the ones that are the challenge.
So excited. They're like little puppies. They want to say the thing, but they can't knock mute off first.
They're usually the ones where the laptop's on the coffee table and it's a reach to do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we definitely all resonate with the muter. Next up for me, I've got the zookeeper.
Right,
and I think a few you lot are zookeepers in this business. In fact, everybody who works here, bar me, is a classic zookeeper. The zookeeper on a video call is those people who spend the whole call trying to remove animals from the vicinity, or feed animals under the desk, or tame animals, or put animals to sleep, or excuse me, that was my animal making that noise, not me. Right? They spend the whole. They spend the whole call not even present. It's about animal maintenance. Do you know what I mean? Dogs, cats, whatever it might be. You know, it's like, and their eyes as well. You do this, Spence. So instead of looking at the call, their eyes are moving all the way around the screen because the cat's climbing across the top of the bloody, unit or something like that. The zookeepers, put your animals in different rooms, please. Do you know what I mean? Just let's have a call.
I've got to confess though, on one call I was on, at break time we actually did a pet show and tell because everybody's pets were encroaching on. I mean, there was dogs and all sorts on the screens. So I just thought, let's just get everybody involved. Go and get your pets, grab a brew, and let's do a pet show and tell.
I'm telling you, there's 80%, if not more, of this audience who are zookeepers. They're sat there now going, "That's me," and I love it, and I'm not changing it. So move on, Dave. Next one.
Well, which one to choose next is the difficult one, and I think it's got to be for me the interrupter. So, of course, at the beginning of the call, we try to we always set the etiquette. So, guys, cameras on, please. Microphones off so we can avoid the Amazon man distraction and all those types of things. The interrupter is the classic case where you are in mid-flow, as we get mid-flow, without the raise of the hand, without any kind of group message or signal, just straight in with the share voice. Boom, I'm interrupting and I'm creating chaos.
Yeah. And you know what? If there's any on these lists I'm guilty of, it might be this one a little bit because I'm so eager just to get stuck in
I think so.
and answer a question. But yeah, and virtually it's a nightmare because when you're talking over each other, it's almost like then a battle of wits because it's like,
horrible.
if I keep talking, you'll shut up and then I'll win.
Yeah.
But the problem is if you get two interrupters having an interrupt off, it can go on. You've just got this mass chaos going on for about 10 seconds.
Barry Scott and Brian Blessed. And it's all.
And then, of course, it creates the long pause, which is not a positive thing.
No.
Because then you go, oh, go on. And they go, oh, go on.
No, you go first.
And then there's this long pause because neither of you wants to talk over each other. And then you both start again. And
I'll tell you what, we're doing quite well on this three-way podcast to not get an awful lot of interruption going on, but it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I agree with that, Dave.
So
really
the interrupter definitely
really
causes
annoying.
Carnage.
Spencer.
Yeah, the alternative, David Bailey, the camera offer.
Oh,
so okay. I've got really poor bandwidth, so I'm not going to turn my camera on, or my camera don't work. Or, just turn your camera on. I like to see your pretty faces. Oh, you know what? I can't turn my camera on because I
can't work out how to do it.
I can't work out how to do it. I've been on Teams now. I'm on Zoom,
the house is a mess.
Yeah,
that's not my problems. Get your camera on.
I tell you what, I had one not so long back. I was doing a session, and we had this person join. We had about 15 or 20 people on this session. It was a good 2-hour session, but it was interactive. I don't think this person had got the memo about it being interactive. So I think what they did was basically they joined, didn't turn the camera on, and then went and did something else. So we were doing the interactive bit and working around the room, and everybody else had the cameras on. And we came to this person and we said, "And what do you think?" And we sort of stood there and looked at each other, waiting for this person to respond for 15 seconds.
And they were painting the bathroom.
Yeah, they're not there. They've gone shopping.
I'm just going to throw an extra one in that links to yours that I was thinking of, which is the MI5er. Now, the MI5er is everybody's maybe, or some people might have experienced these people. It's like, I'm not turning my camera on, but I'm doing so out of confidentiality because I've got something in the background or a computer or a screen that nobody can view. Yeah. And it's like, put a background on then.
Yeah.
Move the PC to the side, but this MI5er thinks that they have to be incognito. Can't have my camera on because my work is so important that it's so confidential. It's like, put one of them fake backgrounds on so we can't see it. But I call them the MI5ers. I think they're more important than you. One I'm going to throw in, and I must admit, I laugh when I say this because I've had a couple of these and it was actually quite funny on the call and it made it. It's the Terminator. And the Terminator is the one who just keeps pissing off and going, "I'll be back." It's the person who just keeps saying, "I'll be back." 1 minute, I'll be back. And it's whether it's the Amazon man at the door, whether it's the dog that needs locking out, whether the doorbell's gone, whether another phone's ringing. It's like bloody coming and going. So I call them the Terminator because they spend the entire call saying, "I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back." Dave?
Yeah, an interesting one, and thankfully there's not one on every call, and I'm freestyling this one. This is the techspert. So you know the ones that you guys have already mentioned, the ones who can't get themselves off mute, they can't get the camera on. There's always this techspert on the call who shouts louder than anyone else.
Yeah,
you're on mute. We can't hit. No, see the top right hand corner. You see them two dots. Click on the dots. The problem is this person's on mute and they can't hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we all can, and it's very, very loud.
Yeah, and they proceed to walk them through step by step what they should be doing. And they go in and they go, it's easy. Just look in the top right-hand corner. And then the other person goes, your top right or my top right? I'm surely it's the same top right. We're both looking at the same screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, the other right.
And then, of course, they turn into the hand signaler. So they start pointing to their ear like that. You're on mute, but you can't hear us. Look at me. I'm pointing to my ear. You're on mute. We can't hear you.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And to throw a little addition into that, I had one called the headsetter, which is like that. So, you know, the people who spend a fortune on the most revolutionary headset, Bluetooth, right?
Yeah.
They look like they're on Minority Report. It's so impressive.
Yeah.
But then you spend the first 10 minutes of the call trying to get twat to work.
Yeah.
It's
they
like,
turn into Norman
hang on a
Collier,
second,
don't they?
I can't hear you. Yeah, like Norman Collier. I can't hear you. 1 second, it's this bloody headset. It cost a fortune. So the press about a million different settings and buttons. Yeah. You finally get there, but it's the same sound as what it would be if I had a cheaper pair of earplugs, right? But the old headsetters who just want to look the part, but it never works. It never ever works.
They've got that boom mic and it's a million miles away from the mouth and you can barely hear them. And you say, move the microphone close to your mouth. And they stick it right under the lip. And all you can hear is them breathing. Can you hear me now?
Oh, brilliant. Right. Whose go is it?
Me.
Spence.
Yeah, foreheader.
Before.
Come on, you've got a camera. You can see your own face on there. So when you actually come onto the group, all I can see is your forehead and ceiling furniture. That's a lovely lamp you've got there. Yeah. And occasionally, if you say something of real importance, you might see an eyebrow. If the eyebrow raises, you might see that.
Do you know,
but they're trying to engage and you're trying to read the face, but all you can see is the top quarter of their head.
Do you know what? You can see yourself on the screen when you join the session. How do you not know you've cut half your head off?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also tied into that is the upwards angler.
Yeah.
So the ones who actually set the camera underneath them. So all I can see is up your nostrils, mate.
And your dado reel needs dusting. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, the upwards angler or the foreheader. Just sort your camera out, get it square on so I can see you.
Not rocket
Absolutely.
science.
How about those profilers? So the ones who are using a 2-screen setup.
Well, I call this the split screener.
Oh, the split screener.
So on mine it says the split screener, and the reason I've chosen that is because it's side view only. So it's like I'm trying to have a conversation with you. You are so they're technically looking at you, because they're looking at the screen to the side where you are on. But all I can see is your ear roll. All I can see is your ear roll. And it's so weird because we're trying to have a conversation with no eye contact. You can see me, but I can't see you. Listen, side screeners, if you're out there. Don't do it. Or at least sanity check which screen I'm bloody on so we can look each other in the white of the eyes.
What about the Bond villain? What about the Bond villain? Those people who are fully there, but in front of a window. All you see is a black silhouette. They might have been sat there in a leather armchair stroking a cat, but all you see is the silhouette. You can't see any facial expressions or anything like that. And occasionally you might see them nod and you might hear a voice, but you can't see anything. All you see is the silhouette. The Bond villain.
I call those guys the messiahs. Because it's like this heavenly glow from behind, and all you can see is the profile and this really big bright light.
Brilliant. Love it. Well, listen, guys, I'm out. Have we got any left?
Yeah,
a couple, not many.
What you got left, Dave?
The Elsa,
the Queen Elsa,
Queen Elsa, Elsa,
as in
Frozen. Yeah. So
those
closely related to the person with the poor Wi-Fi signal.
They spend the entire call frozen. You can hear them. You can hear them, but they're frozen in one, and it's usually the most unattractive. Last position that they're frozen on.
With the mouth open.
Dave, what you got?
Do you know what? I'm a little bit torn on this one. I'll talk about it, but I'm not sure whether it's a nice touch or not. You guys can decide. The waivers. So at the end of a call where we're saying, thanks ever so much, guys. It's been amazing. Thanks for interaction. I'll see you again soon. Those lovely, kind, polite people who wave.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I think that's the new etiquette, though, isn't it?
Is it? Is that what
I think it is.
Do you know what? It is absolutely on the list. It's a good thing for many people. And do you know what? It's something, at least it's a little bit of normal human interaction in a virtual. But have you seen the double wavers?
Yeah,
both hands.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're enthusiastic. I like that.
It's like
Right, see
two
Wavy
really
Davy.
enthusiastic
Yeah.
hands waving at the end. Absolutely.
Yeah.
See you later. Yeah, love it. No, I love that.
I feel really guilty when you get to the end of the session and you've sort of said, right, lovely to see you all again. It's been ages. Just look after yourselves, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time we get together. And you get some people go, thanks, bye, and you get the waivers and all this, that, and the other, and you go, bye, bye, bye. And then you click leave. And just as you click leave, that person who you've really engaged with just goes, bye, but you can't reply to them because you've just pressed end.
It's like
no.
I can't rejoin the call. And what are they going to walk away going, I said bye to him and he never responded.
Yeah, that was it. He cut me off.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Well, we've come up to
That's
20
good.
minutes, guys. Bit of fun there for a Friday afternoon, but serious undertones. I bet listening to this, every single one of them that we've gone through, we're either guilty of, or we know somebody in our team or one of our customers or someone who is guilty of that.
Yeah.
Most of them are little, for me, most of them are absolutely fun, needed, have their place. But there's a couple there that I think we should really pay attention to.
Yeah.
That, get your tech working. Split screeners for me, you've got to stop that. Stop walking around the house. It's not through the keyhole for me. Get settled in one place. And the shouters and the interrupters and all the rest of it, counterproductive. But that is probably, I think we've done about 25 types of video caller.
Yeah.
And there's probably another 25.
There is. But most important for me, I think, is if you're going to be engaging with somebody over a video call, particularly if it's delivery of a session or something like that, don't keep your cameras turned off. I'm not going to judge you for the state of your kitchen. I'm not going to judge you on any way. I've got a job to do, and making that job easy for me is that engagement, that human engagement.
How backwards is it to join a video call with no video? You might as well pick up the phone, right? The point being is it's the only way at the minute we can look at each other and engage in a semi-human way. So let's get those cameras on. Let's get in one spot. Let's look people in the white of the eyes and make the best of everything. But chaps, that was good fun. I'm sure we'll return with maybe a second episode on something similar, but that'll do for now. Thank you, Spence.
Have a good weekend, Martin.
Cheers, Dave.
And Dave.
And we'll be back shortly with another T2 Hubcast.